Yes, the show has hit the road and I am now in the house that I grew up in, which means I officially feel like a real YouTuber by making videos from my parents' home. And my mom's making me meals and doing my laundry, so I'm not sure why I left at age 17. I was living the dream.
Schon meine Oma sagte immer, Katzen sind falsch.
Anyway, let's do this. It's the very curious news from around the globe with the amazing Conrad. Very curious news item number 1. Real Madrid are willing to sell Toni Kroos to Manchester United to help fund their attempt to buy Neymar over the summer. And this is a joke, right? Neymar really wants to go to Real Madrid? I mean, I just find that super hard to believe when he could have gone to Madrid before joining Barcelona in the first place. Second, and I'm not sure I actually made a first point, there were reports that Cristiano Ronaldo blocked a move for Madrid to get Kylian Mbappe over this past summer because CR7 feared that Mbappe would steal some of his thunder and cost more than he did in a transfer fee, and all the other power trip massive ego stories that you hear about Cristiano from time to time. So I just don't see Neymar actually coming to the team until Cristiano is no longer on it, at which point maybe enough time will have passed for Neymar to join Barcelona's hated rivals without every Barcelona supporter hating him. Maybe that's possible, maybe it's not. But it's kind of like Brazilian Ronaldo, who, after leaving Barcelona, went to Inter Milan for 5 seasons before joining Real Madrid. And I think that the Barcelona supporters don't hate him as much because of that. There's a little bit of time in between. So maybe Neymar is trying to copy the Brazilian legend to become a Brazilian legend himself. Or do you already consider Neymar a Brazilian legend? I don't yet, because I think you have to win a World Cup as a Brazilian to be considered a Brazilian legend. And don't at me. Brazil has so many legends, and all of them have one common denominator: they've won World Cups. Very curious news item number 2, Liverpool. And I say them solely because I'm curious about the Reds. They just started 2018 with a performance that in 2017 would have ended up badly. And tell me if you've heard this story about the current Liverpool squad before. They went up 1-0, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, since for me, they have one of the best attacking teams in the world. Not just in England, but in the world. They are so good. But then they gave up a goal in the 88th minutes to give up their lead. Does that sound familiar? And then everyone that is associated with the team is upset about the points they dropped again because their back four and their goalkeepers suck ass. But now, since the calendar has turned over a new leaf to 2018, the Reds seem to have found themselves with some steely resolve, which led to them not getting down on themselves, which led to them scoring the game winner in the 94th minute to beat a very good Burnley team 2-1 on the road, no less. And that was very impressive. So maybe something's changing. Maybe there's a new belief in the squad, which is what happens when you sign good players. And with the signing of Virgil van Dijk, they finally made a move, a huge move, to upgrade in a position where they have struggled for consistency. And I promise you that that makes a difference within the team. It really does. Because the players know that the owners are committed to always making them better and are serious about winning trophies. But will that be enough to keep Coutinho? No, of course not. It's Barcelona. He has to go. And don't tell me any players at Liverpool would stay if Barcelona came calling. Oh yeah, sorry guys, I'm gonna turn you down. I'm staying here at Liverpool. So don't do it. Don't tell me that, because you'd be lying to yourself, and I wouldn't be able to look at you with a straight face if you said anything else for the rest of your life. But with the emergence of Mohamed Salah as the guy for the club this season, maybe Coutinho is somewhat expendable at this point, though I don't think they can find someone as good as him as a replacement in this window, but maybe in the summer. And maybe that's for the best, since Manchester City is going to win the league this season anyway, you know? So you just want to start getting all the pieces in place if you're Jurgen Klopp, so that you can challenge for the title next year while making sure that you finish in the top 4 and do well in the Champions League this season, so you can attract top players to come to your squad next year or over the summer. Or you guys know what I mean. Like, we're on the same page with that. Very curious news item number 3, Jesse Lingard. With his beautiful goal a few days ago, which sealed Manchester United's thorough 2-0 dismantling of the revitalized Everton, Lingard reached double-digit goals in all competitions for the first time in his career. Also, he has the 3rd best goal to minutes played ratio in the Premier League, behind only the already mentioned Mohamed Salah and Sergio Aguero. But he's ahead of Harry Kane, who, as you guys know, is absolutely killing it this season. So I hope that puts Lingard's performances and his form this season into perspective, because he has been excellent. Also, he's had to do it while playing for Jose Mourinho, who, as you guys know, is a manager that is notorious for not being good at developing younger talent, like, for example, Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salah, who played for him at Chelsea. You guys heard of those two players? And he's a manager who loves setting up his teams very defensively, which obviously could hold back even the best attacking players from reaching their potential. So all I'm trying to say is, Jesse Lingard is becoming a better player than I thought he would be, and I just wanted to acknowledge that fact and the strides that he's been making, because it's been pretty awesome to watch. Very curious news, Adam. Number 4. Why does the FA in England allow their leagues to play so many games in such a short period of time in December and January? It just doesn't make any sense. All the other top leagues take 2 weeks off, give or take a couple days, while England gives their clubs 5 or 6 games to play during that same time period, and frankly, it's dumb. They should lose the EPL, Carabao, Capital One, Coca-Cola Cup, or whatever the hell it's called, to free up some fixture dates, and then lose the FA Cup replays, just go straight to penalties instead, and give the players some rest. It's not rocket science. And finally, very curious news item number 5, and it's just something really quick about something. Now, there's a lot of talk around a certain video that a certain YouTuber posted and then took down and made multiple apologies for. And I have a lot of thoughts about it, of course, like I'm sure many of you do too, but I'm not interested in calling him names because that feels like bullying a bit, and I don't know. I don't feel like that's a good place to take the situation, or for me to admonish him like I'm his parent. Son, what were you thinking? Don't ever do that again. So instead, I'm just gonna talk to you by starting with this. Think through who you look up to and why. In my previous career as a professional athlete, all I was doing was running around with other grown men in small shorts, kicking a ball in a certain direction. That's it. And it is not worth glorifying, I promise you, because there are so many other people out there who are doing so many great things that are making a real difference in the community, and who, most importantly, are not using the camera to show you how great they are. Look at me, I'm doing awesome things. Instead, they do it very, very quietly. I'm talking teachers, caregivers for the elderly, volunteers, as a few examples. And I know you guys know 1 or 2 or 3 someones that are just like this, and they are the ones that deserve your worship. So please, for me, take notes on how they approach life, because they're doing it right. Also, for all this crazy positive energy that I save up for the camera, I have felt a deep sadness inside of me before, and frustration and confusion and feeling like a failure. And yes, even with this great hair and handsome face. And when that happened in the past, I thought I was a tough guy and that I could handle it on my own. And I was like, I don't need any help. But that led to some negative behavior, like an incredible sense of entitlement, which I actually still can't believe that I got caught up in buying into my own hype. And I think there are a lot of layers to that, so that'll have to be a story for another time. And anyway, what I'm trying to say is that when I'm not feeling well mentally now, I go talk to someone who has experience in these areas. Yeah, straight up, I go to therapy. And honestly, I love it, because I get to talk to someone outside of my bubble who can help me explore how I'm feeling without me being worried about being judged by someone that I know, and it's great. So if you're down or anxious or stressed or whatever you're feeling, don't keep it inside, and definitely do not be ashamed about asking for help like I was for many, many years, because life is hard. And just as important, if you know someone who's going through a tough time, please take it seriously, and please let them know that they matter, and please help them find a good person to talk to. So I'm gonna put some links to some organizations that I think could be of good use to you if you're ever in need, or if you know someone who's in need, because we should be here for each other. Also, if I could hug you right now, I would, because I think I give great hugs. Just throwing that out there. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Later.